The 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Brooklyn Nets. Looking at the Nets, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. You know, we've heard so long that Greg Popovich is one of the best coaches in the NBA, if not the best. What sets him apart, Kenny?
Well, he's patient. You know, that's the difference. Well, he keeps these games and seasons in perspective. He looks at the big picture, not the small picture, and he's adaptable. Adaptability is one of the hardest things for a coach to do because sometimes they get set in their ways and say, this is the way we're going to play. But then all of a sudden you make 3 or 4 trades and you say, well, should we still play that way? He says, yes, we will be adaptable and change our styles.
We've all heard this phrase before, defense wins championships. Popovich, all about defense. He's very sound with his overall defensive approach, and he can really build schemes. His strategies are effective, and they slow down the other team's star.
For my money, not just one of the best NBA coaches of all time, he's one of the best coaches of all time in any professional sport.
That's pretty.
I agree,
impressive.
He's had season
I'm
after
trying to
season
think of him.
at the highest level. That does it for us for now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
A beautiful view here of the Riverwalk, one of San Antonio's top attractions, as we see people cruising by and enjoying a terrific day. Thank you for tuning into this Sunday afternoon 2K Sports edition of the NBA. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We're live at AT&T Center. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas for this Spurs home game. And so off the tip, it's Brooklyn. So the Nets starting 5. Brown at the 2 with Johnson at the 3. Brook Lopez is out there with Young, and it's Jack in at the 1 spot. Off target from three-point range. And the Spurs with possession.
And guys, looking at Jarrett Jack, one word comes to mind: professional. I mean, he's as solid as they come. Tough, capable, experienced, and he proved it all again last season.
And it's Johnson penetrating. Duncan with the block. Green against Johnson. Green dishes to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Aldridge, no luck. And here's Brooklyn. And just about a minute into the first quarter. Screen by Young. Johnson attacking to the inside. Here's Lopez. 4 on the clock. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the put.
GA, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow.
Yep, he stayed with it all the way and got his reward at the end.
Now here's Johnson following the miss by Tony Parker. Young with no one around. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And that one's good.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Jack following the score by Tony Parker. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And I feel like there's a reason Joe Johnson has gotten a number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
The Nets shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. First one falls for him. Clark, when you take a look at Joe Johnson, and if you were on a good team, a team that was contending for a championship, where ideally would you like him to be? Where would you slot him?
I'd put him in that first or second scoring role because he's so good and scores so effortlessly. And at some point, I think he's going to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
Here's Aldridge. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Lopez, a screen on Parker. Johnson kicks to Young. 11 feet away. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2. Talking about Joe Johnson, I'm not going to lie. Last year wasn't one of his best statistically, Clark. His shooting accuracy was on the low end. His turnover numbers were high. It wasn't very pretty.
But for Joe, Kevin, I don't think it was about the numbers last year. It was about wanting to compete and to win. And he's developed a champion's will over the years. And I would like to see him finally achieve his goal of maybe winning the championship. I think he deserves it. He's been consistent. He's been solid. And now you see some maturation with him as well.
Now here's Brown following the miss by Tony Parker. And the shot is good.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Greg Popovich. One of their harder tasks in this game will be finding a way to slow down the explosive scorer, Joe Johnson. He said there isn't any one answer, as Johnson can and will play so many different roles in an offense throughout the course of the game. He said he can initiate plays as well as finish plays. We'll just have to make sure we don't lose track of them. Guys?
Thanks again, Doris. Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for Green. Bargnani is checked in for Brooklyn. Ellington comes in for Brown. Six on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Cans it from short range. Spurs trail by 5.
And last season, the Nets made sure nobody went off against them. They would lose games, but they did a great job of limiting an opposing star from taking over.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And Jack, here we go. Great D that time from Leonard.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
As you mentioned with the Nets, they limited takeover games, set an NBA record, in fact, Clark, by allowing the fewest 30-point scores against them.
Yeah, you know, only Harden and Lillard were able to get 30 points against the Nets. As you said, the first team to allow so few in a complete NBA season. Going back to 99, the strike-shortened season, the Knicks did it as well.
Good.
And they're beginning to just flat-out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And he gets it to go. He's got his second basket of the game.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up. And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
The Spurs with some changes. West comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for the Nets. Bogdanovich comes in for Johnson. And 1:01 left here in the opening quarter. And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
Spurs trail by 5. Mills with it. Now Jack defending. Mills passes to Ginobili. Picked by West. It's Ginobili with the drive. No good. Some solid defense from Robinson. Here's Jack. For three. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Nets. They're up by 5. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu, Tony, and Timmy there as the foundation, and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that come on board, whether it's Leonard or Splitter, Mills, Green, or any of the other role players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
It's been about the effort. Love the hustle they've shown here in the first.
Yeah, it's due to their hustle, as you said, Greg, and it's showing up on the scoreboard, too.
Mills out there with Green. Then there's Ginobili. Then there's West. And it's Duncan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the San Antonio 5. That one is off.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Johnson, he's checked in for Wayne Ellington. Good on the second free throw. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Shot clock at 5. Got that one, and the Nets lead has been cut down to 4 on the bucket from West. The net shooting has been terrific, 54% on the game. Bogdanovich dishes to Johnson. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by West. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Shot's good by Mills.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now. You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
Now here's Johnson. 5 points in the game. Lopez. He shoots again. They get it again. Robinson misses.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
And Mills kicks to Green. It's Ginobili on the wing. He's guarded by Johnson. And here's Mills from the arc. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
Pass to Ginobili. To the middle. Here's Duncan. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Now here's Brown. Back to Lopez, a screen. And Bogdanovich kicks to Brown. Shot clock at 6. Off the pick. Bogdanovich, no luck.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Shot's good by Mills.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time.
That's the risk you run by staying out there as he picks up his 3rd.
And the Spurs with some changes. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for West. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Parker's subbed in for Patty Mills. And then for Brooklyn, Young comes in for Thomas Robinson. And Jarrett Jack has subbed in for Bogdanovich. Johnson the screen. Lopez a screen on Parker. Jack's shot is good.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Parker. Outside Leonard. Duncan, a screen. Off the screen. No good off the front iron.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Ahead. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist from Green. Leonard's got his 2nd basket.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement. And listen, San Antonio is an older team, actually the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting 5 a lot last year.
Boris Diaz checked in for Tim Duncan. And then for Brooklyn, Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. And Ellington is subbed in for Brown. There's a minute 40 left to play here in the half. Shot from 16 and good. Got the Ingles that time as it falls. And it's 6 points for Leonard. Spurs only used their preferred lineup less than half the season, but still a strong campaign. 22 games played with the starting lineup of Parker, Green, Leonard, Duncan, and Splitter.
And you know the Spurs will go on to use 23 different starting lineups, Kevin. That would be the 5th most in the NBA.
Parker against Jack, and Parker, here we go, and Bargnani sends it back. Leonard with the steal. Down low, and oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back. Ellington kicks to Young, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
It doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Now here's Ellington. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Shot by Jack. Wide open. Gets the three-pointer to fall. And the Nets lead by 2.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Jack against Parker. Here's Aldridge. The rebound by Johnson. Here's Ellington. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. Nets lead by 2. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, we have Brooke Lopez with us. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, it's really thrilling to come out with such a great group of guys every night, you know, and play basketball. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Brooke, thank you very much. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. The second quarter saw them lose just a fraction of the lead they held at the end of the first, as they're now ahead by 2 points at the half. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
One advantage has been their stellar rebounding. I mean, they're putting bodies on people, competing for the ball. It's simple, really. The team with more possessions has more opportunities to score. Wow.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
Well, it was a huge first half for their bench, a.k.a. the others, played pretty good. When you get a boost like this, it always gives the team a lift. And given how well the others are contributing, we'll probably continue to see more minutes for them in the second half. Starters or not, when players are producing, you got to ride them, cowboy.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Let's take them back.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. One guy who's getting it done is Thaddeus Young.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Setting the floor for the Nets. Brown at the 2 with Johnson at the 3. Young is out there with Brooke Lopez. And it's Jack in at the point.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And, boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
And San Antonio has possession after the basket by Brooklyn. It's Parker outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Parker's got 5.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there, because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
And the basket good. That's 10 points here for Thaddeus Young.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Outside, Green. This one for 3. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Talk about doing a Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on.
And, of course, Tony Parker's so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. The Nets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
And Jack kicks to Johnson. Down low. It's stolen by Duncan. And Ginobili. Here we go. And Leonard gets it to go.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in 07.
Here's Jack. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. And Jack kicks to Lopez. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Lopez has got 6. San Antonio's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. Ginobili kicks to Duncan. The turnaround. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Johnson outside. Screened by Young. Brown kicks to Jack. Back to Brown. Jack with a screen on Parker. 4 on the clock. Johnson. And the rejection by Leonard. And it's Brown missing. Spurs leading by 4. Duncan with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Aldridge misses. Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
You know, for the Spurs playing up-tempo, I mean, they made that adjustment several years back, to their credit. Since then, they've been one of the more up-tempo and offensive-minded teams in the league.
And the Spurs with some changes. Boris Diaz checked in for Duncan. West comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. The Nets also changing it up. Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Joe Johnson. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Brown.
And some stats to kind of back up the Spurs playing that up-tempo style. They led the league last year in distance traveled as a team. Their players would cover almost 18 miles per game play. That tells you there's tremendous ball movement, but more importantly, body movement.
Now here is Jack. Diaw missing his last shot. And Jack, here we go. Can't tie it up as that one misses. San Antonio's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. West setting the pick for Leonard. He kicks to West. Here's Mills. The shot's good on the assist by West. Mills has got 9 points.
They're spraying them home from mid-range today, guys.
Finding the gaps in the defense and really just slicing and dicing them right now.
Now here is Jack. He's got 9. That drops. Jack's got 4 this quarter. Here's Mills. 1:43 left here in the third quarter. To the inside. Here's Diaw. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Brooklyn. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Well, you know, the Nets were able to sneak into the playoffs as the 8th seed last year. Had some good wins against the Western Conference, and that really was a big boost for them getting to the postseason.
Now, here is Bargnani. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Bogdanovich passes to Ellington. Dishes to Bargnani. And count it from 19 feet away.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Nets were just under 500 against the Western Conference last season. In the East, that is a very respectable mark.
Yeah, I mean, how about they were actually better against the West than the East a season ago. Their win percentage against the Western teams was narrowly better than games against the East.
He dishes it to Young. Releases from 15. Can't get it to go. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
Oh, without question, Greg. I mean, the wise move would be to get themselves a quick shot so they have an opportunity to get that 2-for-1.
Diaw, the screen. Leonard on the wing, defended by Young. Puts it up from 15. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And that keeps him perfect from the field this quarter.
To the right side. Bogdanovich dishes to Bargnani. And Bogdanovich kicks to Bargnani. Young left side. Here's Robinson, and he banks in the layup.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Mills, that's a two-pointer. No good. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Spurs out in front, leading by 4. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Here's Jack. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for San Antonio, the timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Aldridge out there with Green, and it's Duncan in at the center. San Antonio leading by 4. The drive by Green. It's stolen by Jack. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
We could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now nerves and tightness become a factor.
And it's becoming a battle of will right now. This is as good a game as we could have hoped for.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Spurs.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And also, their mid-range game has been impressive. A tough shot to rely upon, but they really had it going tonight.
Free throw drops for Green. Last season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades.
And that one's good by Aldridge. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Jack with it. Here's Lopez, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Yeah, they certainly have been. You'd like to knock down that first one, but if you don't, then the second shot is the next best thing.
Now here's Ginobili. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 5th assist in this one. Nets trail by 7.
And now, your Spurs dance team.
find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Lionel Hollins as he addressed his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Johnson the screen, and Jack kicks to Lopez. From 12 feet out, rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Here's Parker, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Shooting for San Antonio, Tony Parker. 2 shots.
That's good from Parker. And Tony Parker drops them both. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Jack against Parker. And Jack, here we go.
No slowing him down. Just some incredible numbers for Jack. He's got 13 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. And Jack drops them both. After the Nets' big moves the past couple years, they were looked at as an older team, but you break it down, and you know, Greg, they're not as old as you think.
And actually had the 5th youngest team of anyone in the postseason. And so, though they seem older just because so many of their players had playoff experience or came into the league at a young age.
And the Spurs making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Jack passes to Brown. Lopez, a screen on Ginobili. Ginobili against Brown. Back to Jack. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Bargnani. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Just 2 to shoot. Ginobili kicks to Parker. The dish to Aldridge. Ginobili outside. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Lopez, a screen on Parker, and it's Young finishing it off.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Excellent team play there on the pick, and then he rips it down.
Here's Duncan. Lays it up and banks it in.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Lopez. And here is Parker. Kicks it to Ginobili. Launches it. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 6 assists here tonight.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quickly.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Ginobili against Brown. Ginobili dishes to Parker. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Elevates and powers in the one-handed.
Textbook.
Yeah, and I'm glad, guys, he doesn't go overboard on that one and get a little too fancy.
You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
Checked in for Manu Ginobili. And the Nets also making a change. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Markel Brown. Pass to Johnson. He's looking for Lopez and finds him. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Lopez has got 6 here in this quarter.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
1:32 left in the fourth quarter of this one. A step-back shot here. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
And now, your Spurs dance team.
Parker against Jack. And there's the feed to Lopez. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Now Parker down low. Here's Duncan. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Joe Johnson picks one up.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Shooting for San Antonio, Tim Duncan. Taking 2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
They're really doing a good job working hard to get inside and draw contact, a little more so than they did in the first half.
And defensively, if you're trying to battle back, you can't keep sending them to the line.
Good on the second free throw. 1:07 left in the fourth quarter. Outside Jack. Over to the wing. Baseline try. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Lopez.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Now here's Parker, 11 feet away. Jack with the defensive effort. There's 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Got that bucket in no time at all.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Feeds it to Leonard. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green.
Timeout. Timeout.
Substitution on the court. The Nets call timeout. Here we go, San Antonio. Please give it up for the Spurs dance team.
And Brooklyn has possession. Ellington the pass to Robinson. And Bogdanovich kicks to Ellington. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And so it's San Antonio with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, and it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the stretch, Kevin. This crowd was not going to let this one slip away.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
David, obviously a very productive second unit. How does that change this basketball team when they play like that?
I mean, they set the tone. And we're a very deep team. Our bench is going to have an advantage most nights.
David, thank you. Kevin, depth always important in the NBA.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge. He put his team on his back and carried them as we've seen him do before, but it never gets old. A textbook example of making play after play to lead the way.
When LaMarcus Aldridge gets rolling, it's always going to be a tough night for the opposing team. He's about as complete as you can get on the low block. And there are very few power forwards in the NBA that can run the floor as well as he does. He's a franchise player, plain and simple. And they just couldn't come up with an answer for him tonight.
He had a sensational night shooting the ball. Over 60% reminds me of myself. If you're shooting over 60%, you're playing smart. You're being aggressive, and you're creating opportunities. What a spectacular performance.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.